Haven't you wondered what people are thinking? Unfortunately, we haven't invented any technology that would allow us to hear other people's thoughts.
Some call her strange lady from the mountains.
So instead, I will attempt
And others say
to describe
she's not
what it's like
really real.
inside my head.
And if you have 5 seconds to spare, then I'll tell you the story of my life.
Thinking about this, I find it interesting to realize all the voices in my head, as opposed to images, smells, tactile sensations, or other senses we have, many of which we experience during lucid dreaming. For the most part, I have a voice in my head that speaks in English. Orienta tam A.K.A. askelga a inigda ya dumayo pa-ruski. But for the most part, narration is in English. There are many other sounds in my head, however. Songs move freely in my head. This tune, that tune. Sometimes it's practical, a tune that keeps me going. For example, while jogging or exercising, or just getting around town running errands. Other times, the sounds in my head, the music has to do with emotional states. I don't think my mind is often quiet. If I'm really attentive to the environment, then the sounds of the environment are what's in my head. Or sometimes, if I'm lacking sleep, perhaps my mind will be fairly quiet. I guess I shouldn't be surprised about the lack of images in my head. So for some reason, because if my eyes are open at some point, that part of the brain is occupied processing at least the visual symbol that at some point a voice takes over. It seems. I'm sure I just had another thought with English speakers, but then I forgot we were really young before we learned how to speak, because speaking does not prevent perhaps thinking. Even as I think of there are more images. Even as I speak, my mind is preparing the word images. I've read articles going down past a song featuring the word out ideas about people starts playing in my head. It turns out that after their more winter studies and where that the part of the brain and then take off vision and then learn Braille has been reassigned to their processing lesson. Although I must admit, there are still images. Some of that part of the brain is back separated from nature as I am. The image of cow that you appeared in my mind, more cartoon cow than a real cow. Appearing actual cow. I have much more data on. So it seems, perhaps meditation is how we can never really, we start thinking about the brain when it's planning what's happening later, and the brain watching out for what's happening now. Even as we try and show what we ourselves are thinking, it is elusive like mercury processing the environment, but never smells and smells right now. I'm trying to remember times when it's agitating, tactile. Maybe there are multiple voices where we at the same time. Though perhaps for people with synesthesia, it's the same voice talking to thinking minds. Might be a different voice and sounds and music and cacophony all racing around.